Hello, I'm Robert Gardner, and I'd like to welcome anybody staying up this late to a new series of screening room programs. I realize that it's been almost 4 years since we started this experiment at Channel 5 in Boston. An experiment which was trying more than anything else to expose the independent film to a larger audience. And incidentally, to explore some of the techniques and working methods of young and, as I say, independent filmmakers. To date, we've made 39 programs, and we're starting, as I say, a new series of 13 tonight. I have great pleasure in welcoming, besides the audience, my guest for tonight, who is George Griffin, an independent animator from New York. George, thank you for coming.
Nice to be here.
Thank you for helping us demystify film. I said you were from New York, and I said that because I had forgotten that you told me you were born in Tennessee, I think. And I don't know whether that has anything to do with your particular brand of humor or your outlook on life, but
not really. I left Tennessee pretty early, and I go back as a visitor. I went away to school and came to New York eventually, and that's really where I began my career, and I feel like a New Yorker now.
When people on this particular show say they went to school, it's often assumed that they went to film school, and so I think that it would be interesting if you told them that wasn't true in your case.
Yeah, I'm really self-taught, and I studied political science in school, and it has absolutely no bearing on my work now, as far as I can tell. I really have learned a great deal by doing, but probably the biggest experience in animation was having a job at an animation studio that made TV commercials, using the traditional cell technique, the same technique that Disney still uses. Mm-hmm. But I haven't been to art school. I'm sort of, I've taken from a wide variety of influences and tried to forge my own.
Do you say art courses at Dartmouth or anything?
Yes, now there are art courses, but I didn't take any then.
Hopkins Center wasn't going at that time?
Hopkins Center just started, and I really was, I've always been sort of a closet artist. I always did drawing when I wasn't supposed to. I have report cards, in fact, that say George draws too much. And I was in the 5th grade. Mm-hmm. It was always kind of a secretive thing, and I think maybe that's it's led to the fact that I work alone now and do things that satisfy myself primarily, and hopefully they reach a large audience, larger than if I'd been a political scientist, let's say.
Well, hopefully they'll reach a large audience tonight, or large enough to have made it worth your coming all the way from New York to be on this show. I think that probably it's a good idea, as a matter of fact, to let somebody see something of what you've done right away, so that even though it's not necessarily indicative of everything you've done since that time, they can begin to sense your style and so forth.
Yeah.
So what is the first one?
First film is called Rapid Transit. It's my first film, in fact. I should say that it is partially done out of a reaction to this experience that I had working on cartoons. It's done with a very, very simple means of using silhouettes of particles, in this case, black beans.
Black beans?
Habichuelas
eatable
negras.
Beans, you mean?
Eating edible
yeah,
beans.
Yeah.
In fact, I still do animation. I like to refer to as edible animation, food, sugar, and creating patterns and manipulating this sort of seed grain field, taking frame by frame photography. This was a way that, in fact, I just sort of stumbled on this technique, and I'm still doing work in this line.
We've had animators that you know, such as Caroline Leaf, who works with sand, and Eli Noyes, who work with clay. So almost anything that you can form, I suppose, becomes a medium for animation.
Yeah, and it's immediately satisfying too. Rather than going through a long, complicated process of drawing, tracing, painting, and so forth, you can make a drawing, photograph it, and then move it around and change the drawing. There's nothing left over in the end.
Okay, let's see it. This is your first film, isn't it?
Yeah.